Oh my Jesus. Hello and welcome back to another Friday here on my channel where I am Jacob from Jacob's Book Corner, and we're going to talk about the books I read in February, which I read a total of 15 novels, which is really cool. And we had from all across the board 2 stars, 3 stars, and 4 stars, and a 5-star. Only one, it was a reread, so like it doesn't really count. It does count, but it doesn't count. And my average rating for this month would be a 4-star. I did enjoy most of the books I did pick up, but not all of the books. And then also we do have we have 4 children's books I want to very quickly mention before we jump into our traditionally going through it throughout the days. I do want to mention that several vlogs went up this month. Was there any? I don't remember. Maybe not. Normally I have vlogs. And also my Harry Potter review, which I don't think has gone up yet, will be going up. And so I'm not going to really talk about book 3. It was one of the first books I did read this month. But February was a busy, crazy month I don't want to talk about. So let's start with my children's books I read. Me and my little sister read every single night, and right now we're in the middle of reading the Magic Treehouse series. But every once in a while we do throw in a casual picture book, and I do like to add them onto my list because I'm the one who tends to read them. So there's my words. Okay. Judge me later. So we read Magic Treehouse number 5, 6, and 7. It's a great series, especially for young kids. I really, really do like it. I personally have a very much fun time. She's very enthralled the whole entire way through. And every time we do finish one, she wants to start something new. Next month, we'll have 2 different chapter books, which is really cool. We're starting Cutie Corns or something. It's not going to be on anybody's, my TBR, but it's there. And then also we read Moana in the Sea, or Moana in the Ocean, which was a beautifully illustrated book dedicated to Moana's love and the ocean's love for Moana. It's cute. I recommend. I got it from my local library, the local library that I work at, and we all had a good time reading it. We read it as a family. It was a nice little time. But going from this point forward, we're going to talk about them in order, how I read them, if it was an audiobook, if it wasn't an audiobook, do I have a physical copy, type of thing. So the first one is Red, White, and Royal Blue, which still has my little thingy in it, which I've talked about at length. This is my 3rd time reading it, since reading it in December. I read it twice in December and then once in February, because I thought February would be a perfect month to read this in. This is about the Prince of Wales and the son of the United States falling in love and having a tremendous romantic relationship over the course of many, many pages of such. And it's beautiful, it's cute, it's adorable. It just makes me so happy inside. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It makes me super duper happy inside. It's one of my favorite books of all time, I think. It's gonna be on that list. At least every time I do listen to it. I finally just bought the audiobook for it. I have been listening to it on Scribd. You can listen to it on Scribd in case you want a free trial or something. I recommend the audiobook. I think it's really good. Some people really hate it, so, go inside with caution. But, like I said, this is about the son of President of the United States, which is Alex, and then also, I want to say it's Ben. No, Henry. Duh, it's Henry. Of course it's Henry. And they fall in love over the course of a love-to-hate friendship. It was very, very popular last year. It won a whole bunch of Goodreads awards and different things like that. I love it. Like I said, once again, highly recommend you check it out. And yeah, this was a 5 out of 5 star read. This is my only 5 out of 5 star read this, time. The next book we like to talk about, I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, and that's Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And like I said, I will have a full entire review going up for this book. It was supposed to go up in the beginning of March, but like I said, March was kind of like a stickier thing, but it's fine. This follows Harry in his 3rd year of Hogwarts, where it really doesn't really focus on Voldemort, but Voldemort's kind of like apprentice, and it's pretty fun. J.K. Rowling, since seeing it's about the illustrations. The illustrations, once again, I do like to show them off a little bit, are quite gorgeous. The hippogriff is amazing. I was very, very big fan. I'm always a big fan. But I have the most problems with this book, I would say, out of them all so far. Just to show you off some other things, some other creatures and stuff that make appearances throughout the book. This was my most questionable one. I had a lot of problems with it. Most of them, there's the rat. Most of them do stem from just the fact the book is very boring. I mean, it's just the truth. I would like you guys to fight me in the comments of that video, not this video, as I do have a somewhat of a rant review coming for you guys, but all you guys like those. And, that's just my personal opinion. That's my opinion on Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I'm not entirely sure if we're going to start Harry Potter and Goblet of Fire this month in March, or if I'm going to wait until April, but we will be reading it relatively soon. The next book I read took me a long ass time to read, but that is Keeper of the Lost Cities by by Shannon Messenger. This is book 1. I am not going to be continuing on the series, as it did take me so long, which made me realize I really wasn't actually in love with it as much as I thought I was. It's a very, very fun and very, very enjoyable book, but I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. That's how much I enjoyed it. I think it's more actually like a 3.75 to 3.5 stars, personally, but either way. This follows Sophie when she figures out she is an elf, and she is transferred into the elving world. They go through school really fast in this book, which I'm a really, really big fan of. She's not in it very long, and they go directly to the adventures. I'd say most of this book takes place at school, but a lot of this book also takes place in other realms and different things. It's very cool. The magic system here is very cool. Great for middle grade. I would highly recommend for most people. I do say there's a few adult themes and stuff, so maybe go in and do a few reviews in case you're looking for to read it to your child. It is kind of lengthy, and they get very big, which part of the reason why I'm not continuing forward, as I was not obsessed. And if I was, then the length wouldn't matter. But because I was not, I am taking that into consideration as I read. So that's my opinions on Keeper of the Lost City. Let me know, you guys, in the comments. I'd love to know. Next book we have to talk about is What If It's Us by Becca Artali and Silveira. I started reading this traditionally. I got about 180 or so pages into it, and then I finished the book audibly. I think the audiobook is just fine, in case that's the way you want to devour this. I do have some very mixed opinions on it, and do not judge me. I'm pretty sure it took me almost a whole entire year to read. Over a year. It says this came out in October 2018. That sounds more right than March. Why did I keep putting this in March? I don't know, but I did. So over a year to read. I didn't find any, it didn't affect my opinion. I did have some very mixed opinions. My Goodreads, it says. I have very mixed opinions. It saddens me, but it's also very truthful. It's a truly mixed thing. This book I related to a little too much, which I think is why the mixed opinions come in. Also, the ending is realistic, but also not all at the same time. It was a little too cookie cutter, but also it was a little too mean. I have very mixed opinions. For instance, I would read a book 2. There's rumors that we're getting a sequel, and I would read it. But it does make me wonder if Silveira is not the author for me. This is the second book I read of his, not fully, that I didn't particularly love. Becca Artali has Simon vs. Homo Sapiens, which is one of my favorites. I just had it over here. I think I put it back up. But it's one of my favorites, and I don't know. I have mixed issues. What's your guys' opinions on? I know it's a very mixed book. I mean, I'm not the only one who has mixed opinions. I just don't have a full-hearted, oh, I hate this or I love this. I think I'm in the middle. Okay. That's What If It's Us by Becca Artali. Another book that I had some mixed opinions on, but absolutely loved and want to read again, probably on its birthday, I'll read it again. And that is Again But Better by Christina Rico. Christina Rico, I mean, I have just tremendous respect for her, which does, I think, bring in biasness for this particular book. I'm not saying this book is without faults. I would say most of the faults actually do come in the first half. I think the second half was aggravatingly beautiful. But I think there's a lot of things here that it introduces, a lot of conversations I really did like. But I would say that's probably a problem with it as well, is it dips its toe into, a conversation. It doesn't go fully into the conversation. And I think these are things that could end up harming the overall experience. I think I did write a traditional, I did write 4.35, yep, she's weird, is all I gotta say, I guess. This follows Shane. Oh, I didn't even talk about what the last book followed. I'm sorry. That was about Ben and Arthur and their love affair. This is about Shane, and she goes off to college she goes off to London, abroad, to try to fix her college life. She is I want to say she's a sophomore, because her freshman year didn't do so well. I want to say she's a sophomore, but I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's her second semester of her, her second semester of her freshman year. Either or. It's set in 2011. You definitely know. There's never a moment that you don't. And I really like the voice. I mean, it's because I like Christine. I know that. And I'm very, very excited to read Christine's second novel. This has tremendous possibilities. Like I said, it steps its foot in, and I'm very much enthralled. I want to read it again. It's gonna take me some time. The anxiety levels that me and Shane do deserve, like shared in the first half, made it extremely hard to read for me personally. But I loved it. I loved it a lot, and yeah. And I mean, this is one of those books that got me back into writing. While she crafted the book, it helped me craft my book. So there's respect here. There is biasness, but it's 4.35. So weird. Next book I have to talk about is Hugo Carbonate, or the Inventions of Hugo Carbonate, which is a historical fiction book. What is that? What is that? I'm just kidding. Most of this is the pictures. Not gonna read you. Not gonna lie to you. Didn't actually really like this. This was a 3 out of 5 stars. Probably closer to a 2.75 after major thought about. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was good. It is a middle grade novel. As you guys can see here, it does have a J on it. And I read it because everyone when I was younger told me, oh, you have to read Hugo. You have to read Hugo. I didn't read it because everybody told me I had to. And I picked it up because I'm doing this teen reading challenge, and this book is thick. And I was like, oh, that's a great book to pick up. And I was right. I read it in like an hour or so. A little less than that. Probably. What does this follow? This follows Hugo as he lives in the walls in Paris. Train station, and he's trying to rebuild something that his dad died to build, and yeah, I don't know. 284 of these pages are original drawings, which is pretty cool. There is some creepy imagery towards the back here, and that's probably my only, caution to the wind. But I think everybody understands Hugo. I didn't watch the movie. Let me know, should I watch the movie if I didn't like the book? I'd love to know. But I don't really have much to say about this. I didn't really like it. It's big. It's overly big. I mean, I don't know. I like the idea. I think the idea is really strong. I know this author, which is Brian Selnick, has a few other books that are similar to this. Not in the same world as Hugo, but just similar, like, thickness and things. And I might pick up again in March just because I need another big book. No, my TBR for March is, like, huge, and it makes me uncomfortable. So, not happening. Either way, let's move on to Pumpkinheads by, ironically, another Rainbow Row. No, I don't have a Rainbow Row to talk about, do I? Oh, I do. It just hasn't popped up yet. Rainbow Row. And then also the drawings and stuff was by Faith Erin Hicks. This is about two best friends who are only best friends at a pumpkin patch during this fall season when they work there. And, they, Josie and Deja are finally seniors. Josie's the boy, Deja is the girl, and Josie wants to ask out a girl that he's been having a crush on for like 4 years, and it's Deja's job, as it is their final time being at this pumpkin patch, to make sure he does, and some twists of world. I don't know, I think I give this 3 out of 5 stars, I want to say. No, this is a solid 4. Cool. I always like rating things higher than what I think they probably should be. This is a very easy read. I do recommend. I like Rainbow Row. That's controversial. I do enjoy Rainbow Row though. I enjoy Rainbow Row's writing. There you go. I have mixed problems with the character. I didn't do any research into the controversy that is Rainbow Row. If you guys want to inform me, you guys totally can. If you guys don't want to talk about it, I totally get it. Let me know what your guys' opinions on, because I have mixed opinions, I guess. Either way, what's the point here? It's Pumpkinheads. I think a lot of people read this, though. It was the top, it did win the Goodreads Choice of 2019 for graphic novel. So, there's that. What is this wrap-up? I don't even know. I don't even know if I'm going on to the next book correctly. Oh, totally am. Okay. The next one we have is a gay romance. So I didn't realize it was a gay romance until like the first third of the way through. And that is Bloom. Another graphic novel. As you guys can see here, I'm doing a teen reading challenge where it all counts on pages. And so sometimes you pick up a graphic novel because the world depends on you. This is by Kevin Panetta and Silveira Gagnachula. Sorry. Kevin is the writer, Savannah is the drawer, and it's this beautiful blue tint. I'm not going to show you the inside because it had spoilers. Kevin is, I'm pretty sure, a gay man. Don't really know. But anyway, it is a gay protagonist. These are gay characters. Both these people are gay. So we have a lover of cooking and someone who wants to join a musical band and move away from his hometown and family. And he comes and works at the bakery. They have a love of relationships through food. It's very cute, very, very long. Um, I was hoping for a longer relationship. No hints at the end. It's fine. This was a 3.5 to 3.75. I think it's a 3.5. I think I'm more on the lines of that. As I did enjoy the whole book, I had a fun time reading it. It took me no time to read. Love those types of books that I can just sit down and read them in one sitting. It's always nice to do after like a long day of work. But I would say nothing really happens until like the last third, and then nothing happens again. It's hard to explain. Do I recommend Bloom? I kind of do recommend Bloom. I'm not gonna lie. I think you would like it if you like this type of story. The next one we get to laugh at because it's truly hilarious. And that is my 2-star. My first. We have another 2-star coming up, which is trustfully horrible. But this is Literally Disturbed by Ben H. William Wedners. It does say he's a best-selling author of Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters. I would be very curious to read those because these sucked. Sorry. And then we also have illustrated by Adam F. Watkins. The illustrations here, guys, are like, oh my god, they're haunting. They're haunting. Look at the cat. That cat's gonna kill you. Okay. So this was, I picked this up for one specific reason. This is in the junior nonfiction section at my library, and the blood that comes across the whole entire upwards cover caught my attention to the point where I was like, oh, I have to read 33 poems of horribleness. So I did. And this wasn't scary. I don't even think my 5-year-old self would be scared. I'm just kidding, my 5-year-old self maybe be scared. But I would say this is probably more for the realms of 7 to 10-year-olds, and those people aren't scared. Unless you have a scaredy cat, then maybe, you know, possibly. I'm not a child, I shouldn't be rating this, but it was so bad. I had to do it. It was a 2-star. It's not like a 1-star, it's not like horrible, but it's pretty bad. It's a bunch of sentences, it's like a bunch of story starters, and so that was my main problem as a story structure lover. Like, where's your beginning, middle, and end, dude? If you're gonna give me 33 stories to scare the shit out of me, I need to be getting a middle and end. I understand stories, especially horror stories in particular, have, I should not be going on right about this. It's fine. Have ominous endings to kind of leave you terrified and, you know, secret pants. But guess what? None of these stories had an ending. Most of these stories had a barely of a beginning and zero middle. These are very short, like little things, and none of them make any sense, and none of them correspond. And I understand it's supposed to be 33 random stories, but it was bad. Do not recommend. Don't recommend for your children. I don't recommend for yourself. Do not read. Do not pick up. Not good. Illustrations. Might do some Google research on those. This person right here, Adam F. Watkins, I want to read a graphic novel by him. I think that would be quite terrifying. Just his pictures alone. We have Pennies by Pepper Winters. And I read this for a small little book called Monthly, because what? I really do think Chan is trying to hurt my reading. No. I think she did because she knew everybody was going to hate it, and it's fun to talk about for the 10 minutes that they talked about in their live show. Which is fine. I wouldn't talk about this any longer. This follows... Oh, I gave this a 2-star. Now looking back... No, man. Maybe a 1-star. I'll give it a 2, but it's actually like a 1.5, so we're going to go on the higher end here. Either way. This follows our main character, who gets sold into sex slavery, picked up by a man who does sexual things to her very badly, but are more interested in like actual torture. So either way, I was kind of interested with where this was going, and then ended up going nowhere until the last like 10 pages, and then it had something, and then it ended, and I was like, I'm not reading another 5 books, because I know the person who's supposed to be horrible, worse than this dude, they end up getting married or whatever and having kids. Like, it's full on, it's bad. Now, it's nowhere near as bad as a little book that I'm pretty sure I still have back here. Oh, I do. Look at you. Nowhere near as bad as Anne Rice's Claiming a Sleeping Beauty, because that was a horrible piece of shit. Do not recommend. I don't even think I gave it a star. I wanted to. I wanted to give it I probably gave it a 1-star so it could hurt the book, but it's actually like a 0.4. Because I read it. That's the 0.4. My reading experience. But with Pennies, A little different. I didn't mind the main character. I understood several of the things. The writing style wasn't horrible. They kept repeating a lot of things, but nothing really was shown. So if you're looking for something really dark and disturbing and boring, this is the book for you. Because it was not dark, it was not disturbing, it was boring. Okay, I take that back. I was highly disturbed, but as a boring person. That's such a weird thing. Every time I tell people the book I just read was disturbing but boring, they're like, how is that even a two-way street here? It's like when you watch a torture porn film, but you're like, nothing's going on. They're literally just sawing off someone's toes, and it's grossing me out to no extent because someone's toes are getting sawed off, but I'm bored out of my mind that I'm like, kind of sounds fun. You know, to have my toes sawed off in that moment. That's what I mean. Not doing the action. Yeah, sure. Okay, we understood. I think. If we didn't, it's fine. Penny's was a similar experience. They were doing all these horrible things to this poor woman who I just wanted to go and save, and I just wanted to take in their arms and, like, you know, but she was an idiot. Not that an idiot deserves this. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. But there was just no redeemable characters except Penny. You know, Penny may be redeemable. I don't even think her name was Penny. Penny is it's a book series. What is her name? Can I have a name? Do we have a name? I don't think we do. Tasman. What an asshole name. What a weird fucking name. Tasman, right? Yeah. And I don't recommend. It was shit. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. To the point where I'm actually deciding if I'm going to continue on doing this monthly every month. As much as I love to read a good monthly book, I just kind of hope they pick better books. So, depending on what the book is for March will determine if I spend a whole day reading it, because I really need to stop doing that. I read this, just like the last one, in a 7-hour sitting, and it was hard. It was hard. Feel sorry for Jacob. Okay, moving on to my last book that I got to this month. I had several started that I was really hoping to finish in the month of February. I just didn't get around to them, and so they'll be the first books I start in March. But the last book I actually did finish was Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Carry On follows Baz and, oh my god, what's his name? Simon. Duh, Simon Snow. Baz and Simon Snow as they go on adventures, I guess. And yeah, this was written, okay, so I also have Fangirl. Oh, it's over there. I can't bring her to you. She's right there. She's the green one back there. So, Fangirl, they're in that story. Our main character, Kath, is writing fan fiction for the world of this, and so Rainbow Rowell was like, oh, I want to write the world and actually write Simon Baz, what her opinions would be on them. And the first 2/3, I enjoy. There's nothing wrong with them. But the last third, oh, that was a beauty to behold. All the magic, all the romance. I just loved every single minute of it. And I'm hoping that's more what Wayward Sons is, because Wayward Sons is probably a third smaller than this. And yeah, I'm reading it next month, so I'll know. If you guys want a review on Wayward Sons, like a full-on, like just talking review, let me know in the comments. I'll ask more of that in the next video, but yeah, Carry On. I liked it. I highly recommend it. I didn't think I would. I thought I was going to hate it. I loved it. I read it as an audiobook, and the audiobook, the British voices were amazing. This book would be really easy to read, though. The chapters are very, very short. There's a bunch of them. And also, I would say my only issue is Rainbow Rowell like to jump between characters in the middle of paragraphs. So, like, we would have a whole chapter about Simon, and then we jump to Africa, and then we would jump to Baz. I'm understanding I'm getting okay reviews, but horrible summaries. This book is about Simon and Baz, and they're like 6th, 7th year of school. And yeah, the first part of this book, you just get thrown into it, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is a gay romance, and it's not in the first part of the book. No spoilers for anybody who's ever read Fangirl. What? I met someone, and I was like, honey, you need to change that. Like, Fangirl is like one of my favorite books of all time. You need to change that. Either way, yeah. Yeah. Alright, those are the books I read in the month. Hold on, give me a second now. These are the books that I read in the month of March. I liked most of them, like I said. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, go ahead and give me a big fat thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below. Hit subscribe button. I'll see you all next time for another beautiful video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.